Hi, everybody. Thank you.
Hi.
How are you guys doing today?
Great, thanks to yourself.
Phenomenal. However, our word for today, I found something very insightful in this booklet of ours. It's very mind-capturing, and I'm going to read it to you guys. The skill of teaching is in putting total knowledge into whatever we are teaching. So, with that phrase being said, if you guys heard it, you cannot teach what you don't know. If you guys were listening downstairs at the hall, and Mr. I forgot his name now. Steve, thank you, baby. Mr. Steve said something very profound that actually touched me. He said, if you do not know something, how are you going to obtain it? Because you don't know, right? So the whole point is putting your foot forward to learn something new every day, because that's how we grow. And it's facts, right? If you are not in tune or intertwined with what is happening in life, especially if you're going to be stuck in old patterns. Our teachers just said to us right now, without progression, you cannot grow, because you need to learn something new. Something new always gives you that sense of confidence, one, because you know something, right? Two, you are building not only your mental capacity, but how you see life. Because when you learn something new, you tend to discover different things in this world. For example, we are all different in this class, and when I speak to one of you guys, I'm learning something new. No matter how big, no matter how small, it's called knowledge. So the more you pour into yourself, be it from life experiences, be it from reading, be it from studying, right? Be it from just talking to a friend who can give you much more bigger insights. That shows that you can, the next person who comes, it's easier for you to give them a certain life lesson, if you want to put it that way. Because now you know what it means to need something, to lack something, because you've experienced it. You've heard about it. You studied it. Right? So, let me correct that. Input an extensive amount of knowledge as much as you can per day. Even if it's just you reading something about the news today. Invest 2 seconds of just reading something completely different every day. And you are going to see what I'm talking about. You are going to grow, not only mentally, but also your spirituality is going to start to grow. Because now you are evolving. The more you infuse into yourself, it's like you are making a payment to yourself. Growing up for all of us here, and I know that's a fact because, hello, I'm part of this life. Growing up for most, if not all of us here, we come from homes and places where you are taught a certain thing, and you limit yourself to that. But what you guys don't see is that the capacities that you have, the mindset that you have, the brilliance that is within you, from the quote I read yesterday, if you were listening. You are powerful beyond measure. So the more you feed into yourself, because many of us here, we grew up not actually receiving that kind of love. From both mother, father, siblings, aunts, uncles, we grew up just being isolated for most of us here. So it's time for you to start appreciating and feeding into yourself. Show yourself that you are worthy, even though you didn't receive it from outside. Give it to yourself. And the least you can do, good people. Hello. 2 lines of it every day of something different. Like, for example, I just discovered, well, I didn't. I discover things every day. But I just discovered something very insightful. That right now in China, they are creating, they have, my correction, I knew this like 3 years ago already, they're expanding even more. China has built a one-way to the moon. What do you call those things that fly to the moon again? Rockets, thank you, baby. China has actually built a one-man rocket to the moon and back. China. Technology is who we are now, is what we are. Yeah. COVID has shown us that, right? So integrate, feed into yourself. You didn't receive it outside, feed it into yourself. Learn something new every day.
Do you mean that so they're creating
they have already
for us to go and stay there?
Well, that is something that's still being under research, scientific. But actually what is happening, because the world is so heavy, true story, research, the world is literally heavy right now. We are a lot. No, serious, we are a lot. Right? And as much as you guys might think, yeah, people die every day. Yeah, we do, but there's a lot more born per one person. And this is scientific. So I'm gonna go with that too, right? But there's nothing wrong with you expressing your mind even more to know something that's actually factual. So scientifically, every one person that dies, 10 is born. Right? Every one person that dies, 10 are born. So don't you think it's only based that you accumulate enough knowledge with just reading 2 paragraphs a day, just to put in that insight to say, okay, if something were to happen tomorrow, let me be that one to be that scientist to find a planet where we can live in, because that's what they're doing now. China is actually, they want to discover, as well as Elon Musk and all of them, they actually want to find a planet where they can move billionaires to. Then we will probably wither away and die. Right? But the whole point is to create life in another planet. They were thinking about the moon, and they found that the moon is also cohesive. Because they have like 3 moons, and there's other things in it, and blah, blah, blah. It's not sustainable for human life. Knowledge is power, good people. And knowledge gives you confidence. Why do you think I can dwell you? When you know more, it's easier to be more audible, more personal, more direct, and more alert. Let me close your back. So, the reasons why I keep reading, if you guys look in your books here at the bottom, they have gorgeous quotes. I've finished this book already. I've read all of it. Literally. I read all of it. It's phenomenal. Read these little quotes. Incorporate it in your life, though. When you read it, okay, what am I thinking about what I'm seeing here? What am I reading? Try to understand what you are reading, but it's time for all of us to start feeding into ourselves. And if you're not going to do it via knowledge, then you are losing yourself. Thank you.